Dave Wasinger, Holly Rehder, or Lincoln Hough? Who's going to fight for your gun rights as our next lieutenant governor? Stay tuned, guys. We're breaking this race down for you right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. The primary is almost here, and a lot of you are asking us about the race for lieutenant governor between State Senator Lincoln Hough, State Senator Holly Rehder, and newcomer Dave Wasinger. The question you're asking us is the same question we talk about every 2 years when it comes to legislative races. It's a pretty simple question. Who can we trust? Who can we count on? Everyone says they're pro-gun. How do we know as individual gun owners who we can believe? It's an important question because lieutenant governors very oftentimes become governors, or at least try to become governors. So getting this right might set the tone for 4 years, for 8 years, possibly even for 16 years. So in this video, we're going to give you guys the information we have on these three candidates, the votes I don't want you to hear about, the actions they've taken, to give you guys an overview on how these three might vote on your gun rights as your next lieutenant governor. And we're going to begin with Dave Wasinger. With Dave Wasinger, he's a newcomer to the political scene, no question about that. We will say he surveyed 100% pro-gun with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. That means every question we asked him, he would be a champion for the Second Amendment if elected as lieutenant governor. Supports the entire gun rights agenda. He opposes the entire gun control agenda. Every question, no hesitation, Dave Wasinger, 100% pro-gun. It's also worth mentioning he's been endorsed by Congressman Eric Burleson. As everyone watching knows, the congressman is the most successful politician in modern Missouri history at passing gun bills here in Jefferson City. He's the author of constitutional carry, SEPA legislation, and everything else we've accomplished over the last, call it 10 years here in Jeff City. So a major endorsement to call out in the context of Dave Wasinger, 100% pro-gun, solid survey. And that brings up Senator Holly Rehder. Holly served in the House for a long time. She's now been in the Senate for the last 4 years. And in that time, we've had a chance to watch Senator Rehder and how she acts when the pressure mounts when it comes to your gun rights. In this election cycle, she's also 100% pro-gun with her candidate survey. That means, again, she opposes the entire gun control agenda, the red flag gun seizures, repealing SEPA, repealing constitutional carry, raising the age limit, waiting periods. She opposes all of that and has a 100% pro-gun record in Jeff City. And for us, a person's record speaks far more aggressively to their position than their statements. Anyone can say they're pro-gun. We want to know, how have you voted in the past? And when it comes to your gun rights, Holly Rehder fought for the Second Amendment Preservation Act in 2021. You guys know what SEPA is. This tells Joe Biden to get the hell out of Missouri. It tells him you can't use Missouri troopers, Missouri deputies, Missouri city cops to enforce federal gun control law. If you want to enforce federal tyranny, you have to have your own manpower to do it. It's a major, major accomplishment for gun owners here in Missouri, and Holly Rehder helped make that happen in the Senate. She also fought for stand your ground law in the House. This passed back in 2016. The reason why you no longer have to retreat when some violent criminal tries to attack you or your family is because we passed the stand your ground law, and Holly Rehder was a major part of that fight too in the House. She also helped us enhance Missouri's castle doctrine law. Everyone knows what castle doctrine is, right? Your home, your business, or your car, you are allowed to defend yourself in those areas with an extra special degree of the presumption of innocence. In these areas, they're considered sacrosanct, and you have the absolute right to defend yourself. Problem is, until a couple of years ago, we had a very weird castle doctrine law here in Missouri. For example, if I was at your house visiting you and some criminal came to attack you and your family in your own home, you would have the right to defend yourself under our existing castle doctrine law, but I couldn't. Nobody could help defend. Anybody who was not a resident of that address could not claim that castle doctrine protection. It was a weird thing. It was fixed in 2016. Holly Rehder helped us get that done. And she was a major proponent of constitutional carry, which we also passed a couple of years ago, which is the law that allows you and I to carry a firearm without having to beg the government for permission here in Missouri. Back in the days that we passed this, there wasn't near as many states that had constitutional carry. These days, about 27 or 28 states have this, largely because Missouri helped lead the way. And in that fight, Holly Rehder was heavily involved to get that done. So when it comes to Holly Rehder, 100% pro-gun survey and a detailed history in the House and Senate of fighting to help us pass pro-gun bills, a strong showing when it comes to Senator Rehder. And that brings up Senator Lincoln Hough. Now, if you're awake these days, you're seeing his ads everywhere, you're seeing the billboards, you're seeing the social media, and if you look at his material, you would think that Lincoln Hough is basically John Wayne reincarnate. This is the man's man who fights for freedom, who gets it done and delivers. Yeah, that's all crap. When it comes to your gun rights, Lincoln Hough is the biggest backstabbing rhino Republican we have in Jeff City today. Big words, but I'm going to prove it. First of all, when it comes to this cycle, Lincoln Hough has refused to fill out his candidate survey. And frankly, we weren't surprised. When a candidate won't survey, that usually means they want to screw us over. That's just how it happens. And so when a candidate won't put their views in writing, it's just always a bad sign. Lincoln Hough refused to fill out the candidate survey. You should make note of that. But we don't need a survey to tell you guys how Lincoln Hough has acted when it comes to your gun rights. A couple years ago in committee, I have some bill numbers here, we were working to enhance Missouri's Stand Your Ground law. I told you we passed Stand Your Ground law, and we did. But fast forward a couple years, and we watched how Kim Gardner tortured the McCloskey family for 2.5 years, and we realized we have to beef up Stand Your Ground law and make it even more ironclad to prevent Soros-backed prosecutors from ruining our lives. The biggest problem we have in Missouri when it comes to Stand Your Ground is the presumption. Right now in Missouri, if you use your firearm, you're presumed guilty, and you have the obligation to prove your innocence in a court of law. And that gives all the power to these Kim Gardner-style, Soros-backed prosecutors. And it's backwards. Here in America, we should be innocent until proven guilty. That's what it's supposed to be, but it's not in Missouri when it comes to a use of force situation. Dozens of states have fixed this already, even blue states. That was our goal. That is our goal here in Missouri. We had the bill filed by now Congressman Eric Burleson. This was in 2022. The bill number SB 666, like that. That was a slap in the face from the rhinos who were trying to demonize the conservatives who were pushing this. SB 666, assigned to the Transportation Committee. We finally had our committee hearing. This was on February 10, 2022. And if we had the hearing and if we got it out of the committee, it'd be able to go to the floor for a vote. It was a hot fight in committee, no question about that. And the bill died in committee because Lincoln Hough joined up with the Democrats in the committee and voted against it. A 4-3 vote. A 4-3 vote. Lincoln Hough was the deciding vote, and he literally stood there and joined forces with the Democrats to kill Stand Your Ground law expansion right on the committee floor here in Jeff City. You can look it up for yourself. Again, it's Senate Bill 666. The date of the hearing was February 10, 2022, and it was the Senate Transportation Committee. But that wasn't the only time Lincoln Hough screwed gun owners here in Missouri. Just last year, 2023, we're fighting to ban red flag gun seizures here in Missouri. You all know what a red flag law is. It allows a crazy ex-spouse, it allows a bitter liberal neighbor, it allows a vengeful coworker to call you in and say you might be dangerous. And if the judge agrees, and the judges always agree, we all know that, they'll issue a seizure order and they'll take away your firearms before you've been convicted, even charged with a crime. It shreds our due process rights. It's totally un-American. We have defeated red flag laws every year here in Jeff City for the last couple of years. But we want to go beyond that now and do what other red states have done and ban red flag laws altogether. Our bill would require you have a conviction for a felony offense, a violent felony offense, before your guns can be confiscated. That's the goal. We had a hearing on this bill last year. This was Senate Bill number 10. The sponsor is State Senator Bill Eigel. We had the hearing in the General Laws Committee, to be more precise. The date was March 29, 2023. And you want to guess the vote? The vote was 3-3. 3-3. Lincoln Hough, again, sided with the Democrats and voted to allow red flags to be possible here in Missouri. He voted against the bill, which would ban red flags forever. It would have been 4-2 if Lincoln Hough voted like a Republican. If he voted like a Republican or a conservative, it'd have been a slam dunk 4-2, out the door, to the floor, and off to the races. And it died because, again, Lincoln Hough, again, stabbed gun voters in the back and joined up with the radical left. So, guys, the record here and the contrast could not be more clear. Lincoln Hough is a mega rhino. He has been his entire time here in Jeff City. Will not survey, voted against stand your ground law, voted to maintain a red flag gun seizure process, or what could be a process here in Missouri. He is openly hostile in the press every time he votes against your gun rights. You can look that kind of stuff up for yourself. We have no idea would he vote to repeal SEPA? Would he vote to repeal constitutional carry? We don't know because he won't answer the survey. What we do know, hostile to gun owners and a major rhino. If you see Lincoln on the campaign trail, be sure to tell him to apologize for all of his votes for gun control here in Missouri. If you see Holly Rehder, be sure and thank her for her strong survey, but more importantly, for all of her years of fighting for the Second Amendment here in Missouri. And same thing for Dave Wasinger. If you see him, thank him for his pro-gun survey and his willingness to fight for the Second Amendment as your next lieutenant governor. Guys, that's our recap on this race. Do me a favor, share this video on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching it. Make sure everyone has these details. And again, join the fight today for freedom at joinmofc.com.